Hello, all, and welcome to this episode of ACB Advocacy Update. I am your host, Swatha Nanda Kumar, your Advocacy and Outreach Specialist at ACB. Today for a special video because we introduced our new Director of Advocacy and Government Affairs, Claire Stanley.
Hi, everybody. It's Claire.
So I'm sure most of you know her. Claire's no stranger, but Claire, can you tell us a little bit about background, like your policy background, UC background as well?
Sure. So hi again, this is Claire. So I've been working in the policy space for quite a few years now. Like Swatha said, you guys probably recognize me, possibly. I was at ACB. I started 6 years ago, and I think if I can do math, and was around for about 3 years and then went on to a different policy job. But yeah, I've been doing policy work for quite some time. Always in the disability advocacy space, whether it just be blindness specific here at ACB or my other past position with the National Disability Rights Network, NDRN, which if people are familiar with their protection and advocacy agency, NDRN is the membership organization. So just a lot of work in policy for people with disabilities on Capitol Hill, with federal agencies, you name it, just advocating for our rights.
Now, Claire, can you kind of go into detail about a little more about the PNA system?
Sure. If you aren't familiar with your PNA, you should be. In the United States, there are 57 protection and advocacy agencies, and that's because there's one for every state, as well as the territories, the District of Columbia, and one in the Four Corner region for the Native American community. And I always put the most basic description of a PNA as legal aid. So just like you can go to legal aid as any person here in the United States, you can go to your protection and advocacy agency, but specifically for legal help that relates to your disability. So if you're trying to get accommodations at your university because of your disability, if you're being discriminated against in your place of employment, you name it, go to the PNA and they can help you.
And NDRN and PNAs are a great part of ACB as well. So Claire's been a friend for several years. So Claire, you've mentioned that you've been in DC for a while. You can go into detail about your background before ACB?
Sure. So I've been in the DC area now for almost 9 years, which is bananas. It's gone by fast. Prior to that, I'm originally from California, as I'm sure a lot of you know, who I'm known through ACB. I graduated from law school in the spring of 2015, and that's when I moved to DC. I told my mom, bye, I'm going to the East Coast. My first year out of law school, I worked for the DC Protection and Advocacy Agency, actually. So that was my first job right out of law school. And then worked for the Mid-Atlantic ADA Center, which if you're not familiar with the ADA National Network, check it out. They can teach you more about the Americans with Disabilities Act. And then came over to ACB. So a lot of work in the disability space.
Nice. So lots of policy background. Also, Claire does a lot. So yeah, definitely her up if you need help. So Claire, kind of going from professional to personal, what are your kind of hobbies and what you do outside of work?
Oh, what are my hobbies? Well, I always tell people I am an arts and crafts junkie. I love to do any project. So you will find me at places like Michael's, just wandering down the aisles, touching everything. I like to knit, I like to make jewelry, I like to quilt. I always say if there's a project out there, I'll try anything at least once. Yeah.
Nice. And last year, I remember you did clothes for St. Jude, right? I think St. Jude, right?
I did, yeah. I did the knitathon for St. Jude and made a blanket. Good memory.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad. So that sounds fun. So what brought you back to ACB besides, your past prior experience here?
Yeah. So I was really excited to, come back to ACB and have the opportunity to take this position. I loved my previous time at ACB, advocating for our community. As somebody who is blind myself, this is obviously near and dear to my heart. At my previous job, I learned a lot about working in the policy space, whether it be in federal agencies, Congress, etc. So I really felt like I could come back to ACB and continue working on my passion, but with a new skill set of tools that I've been able to put in my toolkit. And I've been an ACB member for a long time. I always tell people it's fun that I've kind of come full circle because I got my first ACB scholarship the summer I graduated from high school in 2007, showing my age. And I've just been a member ever since. So it's fun to kind of come full circle and start as a scholarship recipient. You should apply, shout out, now all the way to here. So
yeah, those apps are due on Valentine's Day. So get them in,
a
folks.
few more weeks. Yep.
Yeah, get them in, folks. I always joke that I took Claire's job because I took her job after she left ACB. I took her position as advocacy specialist. So
that's right. Swatha took my job.
yes. Okay. So Claire, being director of advocacy and governmental affairs, what are your dreams for the job? What do you hope to accomplish here?
Oh, my dreams. I'm really excited to take on our imperatives that we're working on, our 4 imperatives that you should check out with our community calls coming up and then the legislative seminar. I'm really excited to dig deep into those and see where we can get them. For instance, the website and software applications accessibility bill. It's something that I'm very passionate about and I want to see it move, which we know in Congress things take time, but I really hope we can sink our teeth into those imperatives a little bit more and see what we can do to get those a little bit, further along the line. We're in an interesting transition time with, a new administration starting, with the elections in November and then the new administration coming next year. So building those relationships, whatever might happen, and continuing to do more advocacy in the federal government. And then, hopefully we'll have a new executive director soon.
Yay,
so
yeah.
seeing what that'll look like. So
let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
So just a heads up, y'all. The registration for the leadership conference is now open. So you guys can register and come see us in Pentagon City in Arlington. So
we hope many people come to Virginia for the leadership conference and then go up to Capitol Hill with us in DC for our Hill Day. So
yay, great. Okay. So as you all can as you can tell, we're excited to have Claire back, excited to see what she does as new director. So if you have any advocacy questions, you can contact us, Claire. I'll plug you in as well because
awesome.
Yeah, tell them to email you, not me.
You can email both of us at advocacy@acb.org.
Yeah, us too. So or call us at 202-467-5081. And Claire, you've started this trend, but what do you say at the end of every podcast?
Keep advocating.
Yay.